everybody, and welcome back to Milwaukee Beer Review. As always, I'm Josh.
And I'm Ross.
And tonight we are heading east of Milwaukee across the lake to a little town called Bridgman, Michigan. Now, these two beers are from a brewery we have not done anything from on this channel. Transient Artisan Ales out of Michigan. So Bridgman, Michigan. These two beers we actually acquired at Three Cellars Brewing Company, at Three Cellars Craft Beer Bar right here in Menominee Falls. Let's call it that.
Sure.
So they tend to get some interesting stuff from out of state, and this Transient Artisan Ales is one of those breweries that I've seen a few things from, I've grabbed a few things from, and these ones really caught my eye for a unique reason.
Why would that be?
That's why. These are two Imperial Cream Stouts that are literally called and they are barrel-aged in Henry McKenna bourbon barrels, which is an offshoot of Heaven Hill.
Yeah, sounds
something that Heaven Hill puts out. So we're going to try these things tonight. So we're going to dive right into these. Ross, what is the first beer we're trying?
So the first beer we got is, as they say, the mother of all stouts as top. So this is, as we said, Henry McKenna Barrel-Aged Imperial Cream Stout with chocolate and hazelnut. And this one comes in at 11.5%. So it's up there. It's, you know, got a little kick to it. So
let's go.
Let's get a little nose on it.
Ooh, that smells wonderful.
Yeah, you got definitely the hazelnut that's there. It's faint, but it's there.
Fudgy, chocolatey, heavy
exactly.
fudgy, chocolatey hazelnut nose. We've had hazelnut stuff on the channel before. I kind of mix those two up quite often, that nose, but it's really strong there. I'm definitely getting the bourbon behind that, though. It's a character on the nose for sure. It smells creamy. Like there's like a creaminess, almost like an Oreo cream type nose to this. Very sweet.
Definitely has more of a dessert kind of smell coming off of it. So
absolutely. Well, is it good to go?
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh,
that's really sweet. Good descriptor.
Yeah. It almost has like a coconut flavor to it. Like coconut I'm actually getting more than anything else, and I don't think there's coconut in this.
Unless I read it wrong, which wouldn't be the first time.
No, chocolate and hazelnuts, which I'm thinking the combination of the hazelnut and chocolate, like the sweet and kind of that nut flavor to the beer, is probably what's causing us to taste coconut on this.
I mean, it's a strong sweetness with that, as we're both kind of getting some of that coconut, but I think it's that hazelnut that's really coming through. And there's a strong, like, I'm not going to say like a fudgy chocolate, but there's definitely a bitterness, sweetness with that chocolate coming through.
It's definitely it's a medium body. This does not have like a pastry stout character to it.
No.
So the mouthfeel is pretty standard stout. It definitely is a little creamier, a little bit less carbonation than you might get on an Imperial Stout as an Imperial Cream Stout here. As far as the taste notes, there's really not a bourbon burn.
No.
But I'm getting that it's pretty much the same flavor all the way through. It doesn't really change much. It's that coconutty, like hazelnut chocolate note right off the bat. The bourbon is there. It's clearly there, but there's no bite to it. It's not strong in this at all, in my opinion.
I think
it's buried.
Yeah, I think it's pretty buried. You get more of it on the nose, and once you get on the palate, there's really not much of a bourbon bite to it. You wouldn't really know this is bourbon barrel-aged, in my opinion, if you weren't told.
I'm getting it.
Okay. So.
But it's not super heavy. It's not like, you know, the KBS hazelnut that we tried that had a lot more bourbon character to it, in my opinion. This is more subdued. Untappd. What are you doing?
It's a good beer. I'm enjoying it. I'm going to put about 3 1/4. I like it. I was expecting more of it, I think. I think my expectations were a little high. It's really tasty. I'd almost like, I'd like the sweetness to mellow out a bit. I like a little more spirit coming out of it. So, how about you?
Fair enough. I'm going 3.75 on this. I actually really like it. I do think it's missing the boat a little bit on some of the hazelnut characters, and the bourbon could have a little bit more of a prominent role here. That being said, I actually like the coconut-ish notes to this. It actually tastes really, really good. And for that reason, I think it's earned a 3.75. This is a very drinkable, spirit-aged
Absolutely,
stout.
yeah.
And cream stout, nonetheless. So,
all right. So we got next.
So the next beer, also called I got to use it as many times as I can because we just don't use it on this channel. This is, again, mother of all stouts, aged in Henry McKenna bourbon barrels, and Imperial Cream Stout aged with graham cracker, molasses, and ginger. So this is going to be a little different, I think. You know, I'm expecting a little bit of sweetness there, maybe a little bit more sweetness than I want, and the ginger is going to add an interesting spice to it, I think.
Yeah.
And these are both 2021 releases. We did not mention that earlier, but these are 2021 releases.
Based on what we're getting with the flavor profile, I'm almost expecting like a Christmas beer, like a Christmas stout.
That could be.
So
I think these did come out around that time. I think that's when I acquired them. So,
all right, let's get a little nose on it.
Number 2. Oh yeah. Definitely that like ginger, bam, punch you in the nose ginger note.
That's a strong molasses smell.
Is that molasses?
That's molasses.
That's not ginger?
There's ginger there, but that's definitely molasses coming. That's at least what I'm getting.
Some molassy.
Sweet sassy molasses.
Sweet sassy molassy. I don't know. I have no idea what molasses smells
I've used molasses
like
twice to make like a barbecue sauce, and that's what it smells like. Somewhat that like sweet black licorice tarish type scent to it.
Yeah, okay. I get that. Yeah. Interesting nose. The spirit is totally buried on this one, way more than the first one. I'm just getting that ginger, and what you're saying is the molasses.
There's definitely ginger there. I'm not denying that, but I'm getting a pretty good molasses scent to it. So
yeah, okay.
I should say molasses like 5 more times because I haven't said it enough already.
Molasses.
Idiot.
Well, cheers, buddy.
Cheers. Ooh.
Ooh.
Ooh. So the ginger's definitely there. It's a prominent taste, for me on this one. That little spice that ginger brings with that. I get nothing from the graham. I get a lot of the molasses. And almost to a point where you get some of that, like, I think it's, if I'm going to say this, the umami taste behind it, where you get some of that soy sauce kind of taste to it.
Similar, I think probably a little bit heavier mouthfeel than the first one. I think that molasses character to it, just what this is giving off, makes it feel a little bit thicker to me.
Yes, absolutely.
That being said, the tasting notes on this, I got a little bit more carbonation of this. There's definitely like a bite right up front. And then it gets very, very sweet very quick. That ginger, the molasses kicks in.
Yep.
I don't like the way it finishes as much as it starts. It starts very exciting, actually. And then the way it finishes is kind of that molasses note, I think, is what kind of lingers. And it gets a little bit worse, actually, as it sits on the tongue.
It coats.
Yeah.
And it coats everything all the way down. And it's somewhat off-putting just the way it, the taste, the taste is very molassy. That's really all I'm getting. There's a little bit of ginger in there, a little bit of spice, and some molasses, and it just coats everything all the way down, and just it's unsettling a bit.
I do have to say, though, now we're drinking this in June.
Yeah.
If I was drinking this around Christmas and sitting by a fire or opening presents with the kiddos or something, I could see actually really enjoying this around that time of year. But at the right time of year, right now, I don't think I'm feeling this as much, but I might at a different time.
So, you got to score this one. Where are you sticking it?
I got to give it credit for what it is, and I'm going 3.5. I don't think this is as good as the first one, but I do think it's still a decent beer for what it is. I mean, it's hitting the notes. Graham cracker, there is like a honey character to this that I'm getting that I did not mention that I think is kind of that graham cracker-ish note to it. It's there, and I think it's held up really, really well too. So I'm going to give it a 3.5.
I think it's held up to the flavor it's supposed to be. Excuse me, I'll give it that. I'm not going to be as kind. I'm going to give it about 2.5.
Ooh.
I just think that's like off-putting kind of molassy sweetness, soy sauce type feel to it. Just kind of, it doesn't taste like soy sauce. Let me just preface it. It's not like a salty soy sauce, but it's just kind of like you get that umami kind of taste to this one, and it's off-putting for me from start to finish. I have a hard time getting behind it. So
what I'm hearing from you is that you just don't give a f***.
I don't give a That's what I'm saying.
Fair enough. All right. Well, that was our first attempt on the channel at Transient Artisan Ales beers, and we chose correctly in the beers. So thanks everybody for watching. You can find us on the rest of our social media channels. We are on YouTube here. Why did I say that first? Never done that. We're also on Instagram. We're on Facebook. We are on Twitter. We are on Untappd. And like I said, here on YouTube. So like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see all of you in a future episode.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.